despite losing to Houston. The LA Lakers have opened the gap between them and the spluttering Seattle Supersonics. Phoenix and Sacramento are still in contention for playoff places. But in the Midwest, it's no surprise to see Utah as strong front-runners. San Antonio have a tug-of-war with Houston for second place, but poor old Minnesota have found reverse gear since Marbury's departure. They'd better be careful.
Over in the Eastern Conference Atlantic Division, Miami hold on to first place from rivals Orlando. That's going to be a tough race. Philadelphia and New York have some ground to make up, but this is one of the most fiercely fought divisions, so don't rule out a late charge. What a difference a year makes. Chicago are looking up at their rivals from the bottom of the Central Division. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Indiana look comfortable at the top, but there's little to separate Milwaukee, Atlanta, Cleveland and Detroit. Remember, it's a shorter season this year with only 50 games instead of 82, so that means most teams will reach the halfway mark this weekend.
With only 6 weeks to go in the regular season, each team will expect their top players to shift up a gear and make sure of a good playoff position. Otherwise, it's a long wait till next season.
So, when we're down to the last four in the Champions League and the FA Cup,
and Gianluca Vialli has conceded that the Premiership is a two-horse race.
There's still everything to play for in the NBA, and you can see all the action both here and on ITV2 right through to the playoffs to the NBA Finals in June.
Yes, we go all the way. See you next week.
For Indiana,
Miller retreats to the three-point line and hits again.
And for Detroit.
Grant Hill. Oh, my!
today all these players come head to head. Our game of the week has my Reggie Miller and his experienced Indiana Pacers taking on Grant Hill's informed Detroit Pistons.
Scottie Pippen's aging Houston Rockets travel to face Gary Payton's underachieving Seattle Supersonics.
Will the Terminator stop the mailman? Find out as Karl Malone leads his reliable Utah Jazz into Los Angeles to face Shaquille O'Neal's glitzy Lakers.
Grant Hill is the NBA's Mr. Nice Guy. Find out why as we check him out. He's this week's NBA High Flyer.
Seattle is super. In fact, it's America's hidden secret. What am I talking about? Destination NBA will tell all.
Who is the top newcomer in the league and whose mum just won't let him grow up? NBA Shorts reveals all.
Hi, I'm Gary Payton of the Seattle Supersonics. Watch NBA 99 right here on ITV.
Seattle, famous for its coffee, famous for its rain, and almost famous for its singing basketball players.
Don't come to the king.
On the northwest corridor of the US is one of the most happening cities in America. Seattle is hip, but don't expect much sun because just like Manchester, it rains by the bucket load. This is the birthplace of the grunge music scene where bands like Nirvana and Pearl Jam created the famous Seattle sound. It's also home to the Seattle Supersonics basketball team. The Seattle fans love their basketball and they pile into the Key Arena like sardines to catch the action. The arena was built in 1995 and it holds 17,000 people. Tickets cost from $7 to $100. There's always a big buzz at the games as you get to exercise your lungs alongside the crazy Seattle fans. The team have earned a reputation for delivering adrenaline-filled hoops and the punters just gobble up the drama. Back in the 70s, emotions at Seattle were a lot more calm under the cool leadership of coach Lenny Wilkens. His coaching style delivered results when the Sonics won an NBA championship in 1979. The Sonics returned to top form in the 90s behind the exciting play of Shawn Kemp and Gary Payton, a.k.a. The Glove.
Up to Gary Payton. Lead pass to Kemp. He'll play it down. What a lob!
This duo dominated the court with power and a fast-paced style of play, and they led the Sonics to some of the best records in the regular season.
Tomahawk Sam! Yeah, baby!
But winning the big one in the playoffs proved to be their weak spot. In '96, Seattle finally got to the NBA Finals, but they got a wake-up call when Michael Jordan's Chicago poured cold water all over their championship dreams. Seattle decided to go in a different direction last season by trading the rim-wrecking Kemp for gentle giant Vin Baker.
It's just getting sweeter all the time.
But despite having another strong regular season, the Sonics suffered a defeat when the LA Laker lads gave them a good schooling in the playoffs. This year, Seattle have even struggled through the regular season. The Sonics would like to move to that next level, but they're not playing like a championship team.
Let's see if those struggling Seattle Supersonics can defend their home court against the red-hot Houston Rockets. Scottie Pippen has been the key to Houston's offense, while Gary Payton sets the tone for Seattle with his glove-tight defense.
Getting in front for the steal.
With Seattle's Vin Baker sidelined with an injury, Payton, in the white kit, would also have to step up his game on the attack, and he was ready for the challenge.
Crossover dribble to the baseline, stops, reverses on Mobley. A high kiss off the window is up and in. A gorgeous move by Payton.
All the way to the hoop with that turning under, a thing of beauty.
Gary ball fakes, comes off the Polony screen, drives to the glass. What a move! Payton for the three, and he cashes in. He's filling it.
Payton gave Seattle an early lead, while Houston consistently misfired as they kept hoisting up the three-point shot.
Scotty for the three, and he throws an air ball. Holy cow.
Mobley, he misses a three.
3 for 15 for three right now. I think they're living a little bit too much out on that perimeter right now rather than punching it inside.
Like that?
Like that.
Dickerson, make it 3 of 16.
Houston's Scottie Pippen and Hakeem Olajuwon found themselves down 51-36 in the first half. So this team of veterans started to punch the ball inside as they got back into the game.
Pippen flips it inside to Barkley. This is a one-point game. 5 seconds to shoot. Pippen's free, and the Rockets have the lead. That is Houston's first lead of the entire game.
But the lead was not theirs for long.
Schrempf for three, and Declan Schrempf finally puts an end to a long Rocket run.
Then Seattle started playing Gary Payton-type defense as the team got out and running.
Head to the glove, has a step on Dickerson, goes to the glass and lays it in.
With Seattle ahead by 4 points at the start of the fourth quarter, Payton took his first rest in the game. So his replacement, John Crotty, decided to do his best Gary Payton impersonation.
Crotty, all the way to the hoop.
Crotty hard blast into the lane to the glass, lays it up and in. They just let him go to the hole. He just kept coming.
Crotty, hesitation move. John Crotty is playing out of his mind right now.
Crotty hit his first 7 shots as the Sonics pulled away. They blew out the Rockets 101-84 as Seattle got a much-needed win and an emotional boost.
So Gary Payton got the better of Scottie Pippen. Seattle, led by the glove, fought off a Houston comeback, proving that despite an up-and-down season so far, they could go all the way.
The difference in this game can be described in 2 words. Gary Payton. He was all over the place. He scores.
Payton driving on Mobley.
He assisted.
Head fake. Slithering through, finding Hawkins, and Princeton throws a three.
He stole the ball.
Pippen has it stolen by Payton.
And he defended.
Basketball's supposed to be a non-contact sport.
Getting in front for the steal.
Our next game sees 2 of the toughest and meanest NBA characters come head-to-head. It's the Terminator against the Mailman.
It's Shaq O'Neal versus Karl Malone. It's the home of Hollywood, so LA's Great Western Forum was packed with stars like Heather Locklear to see this superpower matchup of Big Shaq's LA Lakers and Karl Malone's Utah Jazz. But it was Malone who was being manhandled by Dennis Rodman.
Look out.
But Karl bounced right back and showed why his Utah team are one of the best passing clubs in the league. They were out to a hot start as LA could not keep up with the ball movement.
3-on-1 break underneath the basket and Malone scores.
As the Lakers found out, when Malone is on target, he's practically unstoppable.
Malone working harder.
just as hard, but Rodman's working back on it. Now Malone follows a 16-footer. That's good. And they're making a shambles.
Down 10, the Lakers looked to their big man for answers, and Shaq did not let them down. He overpowered defenders to get LA back in the game.
Shaq, he's against Fuller. One-on-one, Shaq will beat him. He's underneath, beats him.
LA took the lead as the two superstars, Malone and O'Neal, traded baskets at the end of the second quarter.
Lakers up by a point. Shaq down the middle. 8-footer straight away is good over Ostertag. It's a great half for Shaq. Bounce pass goes into Malone. Malone against Rodman. Wants to drive. Can't. Shoots a 20-footer. The looks good is good.
The Lakers had a 1-point lead at the half, and then the team's attack really started to flow in the third quarter.
Down the middle to Kobe. He's under the basket. He puts it up and in.
The Lakers increased their lead, which did not make Utah coach Jerry Sloan happy. He took his anger out on the refs, who ejected him from the game. Still early in the third quarter, O'Neal got called for his 4th foul. Remember, 6 fouls equals a red card. So to protect him from fouling out, the Lakers put him on the bench. But without their big man, the team struggled.
They blocked his shot. Beautiful play by Ostertag. Kobe out of control all the way. Now we got pass down the middle of Carl. Carl scores on a fine play underneath. Malone against Rodman. Malone wants to fake and then shoot over. Malone down the middle. Hook shot on the way. Good play. Good play.
Everything Malone touched went in the basket.
Straight up and it fell in. Look at him laugh. I don't blame him.
Malone now had a chance to tie the game.
Nice shot by Malone. He's putting on a clinic, I'll tell you that.
The mailman Malone was delivering perfectly.
Here comes Hornacek underneath to Malone. Malone is 10 for 10 from the floor with a layup.
You are allowed to miss a shot, Carl.
Despite Malone's heroics, the Lakers were able to end the third quarter with a 1-point lead on this Kobe Bryant jumper. But in the fourth quarter, Malone continued to deliver, but now he was the passer. With all the defensive attention he was getting, he looked for the open man, who was often Shandon Anderson.
They got it off again to Anderson, and they score again. Same play. They make 4 in a row to tie it at 80. Nice play from the high post. Now they steal the ball. Malone going the other way. Bouncing into Anderson. Out of front. Here is a three-pointer. That's good by Hornacek.
Two.
Oh, they only give him 2. That's bad enough. The ball into Malone. He likes to shoot from there. Underneath, a great pass, and the shot is up and put in again by Anderson.
Here's Malone trying to clean up, and Karl Malone remains perfect.
LA tried everything to stop Karl Malone, but not even rugby tactics would work.
Foul against Rodman. Now the ball, dribble drive, he loses Rodman, he scores, he's fouled by Rodman. He ate Rodman up on the play. Has he missed a shot yet?
No.
The Jazz then turned up the volume on their defense as they started to pull away from the Lakers. They came up with a very impressive 13-point victory on the road. The Lakers have to think of a way to stop the mailman if they expect to win come playoff time.
Shaquille O'Neal scored 24 points, but it was not enough for the Lakers as their mailman delivered in first-class style.
Nice shot by Malone. He's putting on a clinic, I'll tell you that. Here comes Hornacek underneath to Malone. Malone is 10 for 10 from the floor with a layup.
You are allowed to miss a shot, Carl.
Unbelievably, Karl Malone did not miss a shot the entire game, and the Jazz's fourth quarter performance secured a significant victory for Utah. You may not like them, but you got to respect them.
My lovely Lakers are going to have to defend better than that if they're to win their first championship since 1988.
Bev, listen to me. Better defense ain't going to make them any better. They just don't seem to gel as a team, and I think it's a case of 2 individuals playing their own game.
Well, you're going to have to go and spend a week with them, so you better be careful. Kobe will get you.
I'm not worried about Kobe getting me. It's just that big man Shaq. If he gets me,
You'll know about it.
I will.
After the break, it's Reggie versus Grant as the Pacers face the Pistons, and there's even more Grant Hill in NBA High Flyer.
So, come back soon.
This year, Subaru are again winners of the J.D. Power BBC Top Gear Customer Satisfaction Study, taking the manufacturer's Gold Award with the highest number of points ever recorded and the top 2 cars, the Impreza and Legacy. making their owners the happiest in the UK. So, if you don't drive a Subaru, here's something to cheer you up. Subaru, #1 for customer satisfaction.
He waits. That's what he does. And I tell you what, tick followed tock, followed tick, followed tock, followed tick. Ahab says, I don't care who you are, here's to your dream. The old sailors returned to the bar. Here's to you, Ahab! And the fat drummer hit the beat with all his heart. Here's to waiting.
Visit Homebase now and you'll find more money-saving offers than they've ever had before. Ever!
Homebase have 40 different lawnmowers with up to 25% off.
More savings than ever. Ever.
Neil.
Over 400 Homebase brand paints reduced by up to 25%.
More savings than ever.
And all bathroom suites have up to 20% off.
Ever.
Neil.
Ever.
Neil.
With more savings than ever, you're better off at Homebase.
Tell me more about Persil's Net.
Well, it helps the tablets get all round the wash.
Right.
And gets them fizzing round the clothes right from the start.
What's so important about that?
Well, they wouldn't clean so brilliantly if they was fizzing in the drawer, would they? Persil Performance Tablets. Brilliantly clean, beautifully fresh.
Can you resist the refreshing sweetness of apricots? Apricot Viennetta, light ice cream under delicious fruit crisp. An irresistible experience from Walls.
One of the NBA's elite players is Detroit's Grant Hill. He is the Mr. Nice Guy of the league.
I'm not a selfish player. I mean, I like to get everyone involved.
Lee, we got a trap. Lee, we got a trap.
In 1994, the 6'8" Grant Hill was drafted to the NBA to play for the Detroit Pistons. He stunned the basketball world with his range of deadly moves.
Grant Hill. Oh, my!
Grant is an intelligent player with a reputation for being a nice guy because both on and off the court, he handles himself with class.
What's up now? How y'all doing?
Even if I weren't playing basketball, I'd want to be a role model. I know I'm not perfect. I know I'm going to make mistakes.
Hill's all-around skills are matched by no other player in the league.
Stay right there. Oh, yeah, force me left.
I like having a good overall game, feeling really like you're in control of the game on both ends of the court, not just scoring, but with rebounding and getting your teammates involved, playing good defense.
Ball, Langler's dangerous. Block! Grant Hill, it's over! Pistons win!
This is a player who truly has it all.
He can do anything he wants out there on the floor.
I don't think anybody's going to stop Mr. Hill tonight, folks.
I'm not the kind of player who's going to go out and score a whole lot of points all the time, but every once in a while when I do, it feels real good.
Wow. Detroit, Michigan, famous for Motown music and the car industry, was the site for a battle between Eastern Conference rivals, the Detroit Pistons, and the Indiana Pacers. Our high flyer, Grant Hill, was not looking like Mr. Nice Guy because Indiana's trash-talking shooting guard, Reggie Miller, was in the house. So Hill wanted to strike first.
And it is Grant Hill from the outside.
But Reggie was ready as he answered right back.
Reggie Miller gets into the act in his first shot.
Early in the game, the Pistons' attack was firing on all cylinders.
And the Pistons pumping. Hunter going all the way for the release to Reed. And right now the Pistons are running the Pacers and have streaked to a 7-point lead.
Power forward Don Reed led the charge for Detroit. But it was each team's top dog, Hill and Miller, who stepped it up in a furious first quarter finish.
And the Pacers off and running. Down court, Miller fakes the three, takes the two. Got it. Now it is Hill racing with Best. Miller is back, and Hill finds the open man. Sliding in was Stackhouse. Hill rises. Nothing but net. A beauty by Grant Hill at the buzzer to give him double figures, 10 points.
Sam Perkins, known as Big Smooth because of his silky three-point shot, was the man for Indiana in the second quarter. He led the Pacers' comeback.
There he is again, Sam Perkins, part of the Pacers bench brigade.
The Pacers won't go away. Best, there's Perkins, there's three. Sam Perkins on fire from downtown.
Then Miller joined in on the three-point parade as Indiana looked to wipe out the Detroit lead.
Wow. That's their fourth triple in the quarter. Well, Pacers is 2 points behind. Go inside to Davis. He wheels on Montross. Swish! And the Pacers have come all the way back.
After Detroit regained the lead, Reggie showed that he's more than just an outside bomber.
Driving all the way for the floater from underneath. A spectacular shot by Reggie Miller.
The teams were tied at the half until small forward Chris Mullin made a long-distance connection.
Mullin swishes it through, and for the first time, the Pacers lead tonight.
He'll use his strength advantage over Miller to keep the Pistons afloat. But Reggie didn't back down. He fired away from three-point land.
And Miller drills it for three, his third of the evening.
Wow, he was way behind the line.
The Pacers added to their 5-point lead by looking for the open man.
Rose is open, drills it.
Sweet ball movement. Sweet, sweet ball movement.
The Pistons showed they can pass the ball too, as they kept it close. But Indiana held the lead because Reggie was still hitting threes, and forward Antonio Davis was scoring on the inside.
Davis is open, and he buries the ball. Whips it inside to Davis, and he's got it. Perkins slides it to Davis, and he emphatically finishes, and you could see it on the face of A.D.
The Indiana defense started to focus on Grant Hill, and as they put two men on him, he looked for help and got some from Judd Bushler. But the defensive pressure was wearing Hill down, and he began to miss shots.
Hill trying to get on track, cannot.
Then Big Smooth started to work some of his magic on the inside.
He makes the fake and hits the looping left hand.
Little peekaboo, show and tell.
Hill looked to get back on track with the Pistons down by 6.
Hill tries again. A hard 16 points for Grant Hill tonight.
Pistons trying to post Hill. Oh, good find.
The shovel, and Dele makes his presence felt immediately.
With Indiana's lead cut to 2, they needed a big basket to hold off the Pistons' rally.
Miller for three. Swish. Dead on and right on.
Grant Hill was trying once again to recharge the Pistons' battery. So after he scored this basket, he worked hard on the defensive end to stop Miller from scoring, and then he pushed the ball up court.
Now the Pistons on the move again. Hunter to try to tie it up. We are dead even at 84.
With under 2 minutes left, Indiana looked to break the tie by again using good teamwork.
Best ducks inside, finds Davis, and he puts it away and is fouled. Well, Pacers moving the ball around, finding the open man, and Davis knew what to do with it.
It was now Grant Hill's turn.
Pacers trying to stop Grant Hill. Oh, they did, but not Bison Dele.
After a very suspect foul called against Hill, the Pacers' Rick Smits hit one foul shot to give Indiana the 2-point lead. But there was still plenty of time for Detroit. Hill got the ball close to the basket, and he looked to overpower Reggie.
Action by Davis. Once again coming up with the major defensive move in the closing minute.
Hill was able to push Reggie back, but Davis came out of nowhere to make this huge block shot. Indiana had a chance to ice the game, but when this shot did not drop, Detroit had one last opportunity, and you know who they were going to give the ball to.
It goes to Hill, 2-point lead for the Pacers. Hill, fade away. Batted around, and the Pacers have won. They come into Detroit and battle and grind down to the last seconds. What a major victory this is.
Surprise, surprise, or should I say, surprise, surprise, Chuck. Not only can Reggie Miller score, he can also defend. It was his persistent D on Grant Hill that secured the victory for the Pacers.
Reggie Miller scored 23 points for the Pacers, and if there's anybody who loves and thrives on pressure, it's Reggie.
He's been widely tipped as the new king of the NBA, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Come the end of June, Reggie Miller and the Pacers will win the NBA championships. By the way, I'll keep on saying it. By the way, I will keep on saying it.
Yeah, he will keep on saying it.
Shush you. That win for my Pacers keeps them in second position in the Eastern Conference. Orlando, who have won 5 in a row, still occupy the top spot. It's tight in the middle as Atlanta, Detroit and Milwaukee fight it out for positions 4, 5 and 6. Remember, 8 teams qualify for the playoffs, and at the moment, Philadelphia occupy the all-important 8th position. And for all you New York fans, it's not looking good. The Knicks have slipped to the 9th spot and are in grave danger of not making the playoffs.
Michael Olowokandi is not the only first-year player turning heads this season. 2 newcomers who are regulars on our Plays of the Week are taking the NBA by storm. Vince Carter of the Toronto Raptors is a 6'6" shooting guard. He went to the same university as basketball god Michael Jordan and has been drawing comparisons to his airness because of his gravity-defying game.
Carter elevates and throws it down.
Jason Williams is the point guard for the Sacramento Kings. His ball handling skills are simply amazing. Almost every night he makes eye-popping plays.
Behind the back, and they delivered. I love it here. That's a great play by the kid. Now I'm dazzled.
He has the ability to make even the best defenders like Gary Payton look silly. Third-year player Stephen Marbury was traded to the New Jersey Nets so he could be closer to his hometown New York. But when he got into this ugly collision with a teammate, his mum got scared and ran onto the court to see if her baby was all right.
Mabel Marbury.
Hello and welcome to NBA 99. Now Beverly, it's May the 1st. May is a busy month for sport.
Yep.
What's happening on the 26th of May?
26th of May is the Champions League final.
Correct. What's happening on the 22nd of May?
22nd of May, FA Cup final.
Yep. What's happening on the 8th of May?
Next weekend.
Yep.
I don't know.
Come on, you must know.
I don't know.
You don't know what's happening on the 8th of May?
No.
This is what's happening on the 8th of May.
Time to roll, baby. Time to roll.
Trouble! No! Fist out, fist out! 3-down single now. Trailer!
This week on NBA 99, we're bringing you 2 main games. In the Eastern Conference, the struggling New York Knicks square up to the Heat down in Miami.
Hardaway, long three.
And game 2 comes from the West. We bring you the informed San Antonio Spurs against the surprising Sacramento Kings.
Alley-oop Carr. Oh, my! If you didn't like that, you don't like NBA basketball.
He was voted NBA newcomer in 1998, but is he still flying high? We'll bring you the lowdown on Tim Duncan.
Look at Duncan! Oh, what a play by Duncan!
Plus all the news and stand-ins from both conferences.
Now, you should know we were in the States for the last 2 weeks, and we got some great exclusive interviews.
One of which was with New York's bad boy Latrell Sprewell. Beverly caught up with him, and this is what he had to say for himself.
While with the Golden State Warriors, Latrell Sprewell earned the reputation as one of the most explosive players in the NBA, not only for his attacking style on the court, but because he actually attacked his coach off the court. Sprewell was suspended for most of last season when a heated argument ended with his hands wrapped around his coach's neck. This year, the New York Knicks took on the controversial player in the hope that he could regain his top form. You had to sit out last year, unfortunately. Is it really great to be back?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it was a long wait, and, you know, it was frustrating to have to watch and not be able to participate. So now that I'm back and able to play, you know, I'm enjoying myself again.
And Latrell Sprewell continues to pour on the points.
Are you enjoying living in New York?
No, I haven't had time to see the city much, but New York is a beautiful city. It's a lot to do, a lot of trouble you can get into. We're trying to stay out of trouble, though. There's a lot going on here. I love the city, and the people, the fans have been great.
And this crowd really
really enjoying Latrell Sprewell right now.
Obviously, your hair is always a feature which people recognize you by. Are you conscious of that?
Not really. I mean, it's just something that I like, and I've always liked to be a little different. So for me, being able to change my hair and put it in different styles is something that I like.
Sprewell at the buzzer, won't go, and the Knicks a bad loss tonight.
We haven't played as well as we'd like to, but
It's not over yet.
it's not over yet, and we have a chance. We're playing hard, and you know, we've lost a lot of close games, and we're going to just continue to keep trying.
If Latrell Sprewell and the New York Knicks expect to make things happen this season, they would have to start in sunny Miami by beating their rivals, the conference-leading Miami Heat. And they would have to do it without their Warrior center, Patrick Ewing, whose injury left the Knicks with no one to stop Alonzo Mourning.
They go to Mourning right away. Dudley on Mourning. Shot clock down to 8. Mourning's deep in the post, flips it up and dumps it in. Mourning quickly on the board. Right again, back to Mourning. Shooting over Dudley, and Alonzo Mourning 2 for 2 from the field.
Chris Dudley looked to be no match for Big Zoe.
Mourning, the basket and the foul. Dudley frustrated early.
Miami then started to frustrate the rest of the Knicks as they took the early lead with solid play on both ends of the court.
Houston has Hardaway behind him and steals it from behind. Terrific hustle from Hardaway.
And the Knicks did nothing to help their own cause as they were careless with the ball.
Now 6 turnovers for the Knicks.
Miami point guard Tim Hardaway took full advantage of those turnovers.
Hardaway for 3. Tim Hardaway.
In the second quarter, Mourning was still having his way with the Knicks as everything seemed to go right for Miami.
Mourning and Camby, this is a tough assignment for Camby. The knock on him, not physical enough. Mourning just powers his way in and gets an easy shot.
There's just no way that Marcus Camby can make a stand there.
Ward fakes a 3. Bad pass deflected by Hardaway. Knicks their 9th turnover here in the first half. Quarter and 3. Couple of bounces and goes in. You rarely see it go in that way, but Porter will take it. Hardaway, nice feed at Mourning. An easy 2. The Heat back up by 10.
While Miami were looking fierce and confident with their 10-point lead at the half, New York coach Jeff Van Gundy was looking a bit sick as he helplessly watched the Knicks continue their sloppy play.
Knicks going to try and snap a 3-game road losing streak, but turnovers really hurting them as they turn it over for the 13th time. That problem continues here to start the second half.
The Mourning problem also continued as the Knicks could not stop him on the attack.
Tough roll-away shot, he puts it in. Everything going Alonzo Mourning's way, and he is loving it as the Heat have their largest lead of the game. Dudley gives Mourning some room, hits another one. Alonzo Mourning now with 21 points, and he is fired up. Heat can afford to be patient right now. They have played a very efficient game. Mourning, tough turnaround, it's good. Alonzo Mourning has been brilliant this afternoon. Hard to imagine Alonzo Mourning playing any better than he's playing right now. Hardaway, pass deflected. Mourning will take it again. He puts it in. Mourning pouring it on. He's got 25 and enjoying every bit of it. He is ready to jump out of his skin. A 20-point lead.
Miami maintained their huge lead in the third quarter as Mourning's dominance seemed to leave the Knicks lifeless.
Mourning now with 27 points.
The Heat were looking unstoppable, but the Knicks aren't a team who give up easily. They started to chip away at the lead by going inside to Larry Johnson.
Johnson with Weatherspoon on him, backing in, spinning, flips up a wild shot, and it rattles in, and the Knicks have pulled within 12. Johnson kicks it out forward, right back to Johnson. 4 on the shot clock, hard drive, backs it in. Larry Johnson really coming alive. He now has 20 points.
Knicks have to think about going inside right now.
Nice speed and Camby on the slam, and Riley not happy as the lead has been cut to 11.
The Knicks' comeback intensified the game as emotions between these hated rivals started to boil.
Thomas just leveled Mashburn on a screen. And a whistle away. There's some extracurricular stuff as Mashburn and Thomas. Now Childs and Marley getting at it. The officials getting involved. And you have to wonder what the Knicks are thinking right now because they've got the momentum and they don't want to stop that right now.
But the mini rumble seemed to inspire the Knicks as they continue to cut into the Heat lead.
Houston making his move, fires away, it's good. Allen Houston drills the jumper, and the Knicks have cut it to 6. An incredible turnaround. It appeared the Knicks were done for the day. Houston, fall back, tough shot, it's good. Allen Houston again, and it's a 4-point game.
After shaving another point off the lead, the Knicks had a chance to tie the game.
Johnson with a three-pointer. Oh, Larry Johnson pans the 3, and the game is tied. A 19-4 run. What a turnaround. Mashburn up top. Much of the crowd on its feet. Hardaway, long 3. Bang! Tim Hardaway answers right back.
Now down 3, the Knicks look to score quickly.
Allen Houston, nice feed to Camby, slams it in, and a foul! Pat Riley can't believe the foul as Camby with a chance for a 3-point play.
Camby hit the free throw to tie the score at 80, with under 30 seconds to go in the game.
Final half minute, Hardaway on the drive, pulls back, puts it up, no good, rebound Childs, and Childs, they call a foul on Brown, a foul on P.J. Brown with 20.1 seconds remaining. Chris Childs will go to the free throw line for the first time today. Game tied at 80. And the Knicks have their first lead of the afternoon after trailing by 20 in the second half. Childs hits both. Pat Riley calls timeout. One of the most incredible comebacks of this wild NBA season.
With 20 seconds left, Miami had plenty of time to tie or win the game.
Porter, up top Marley. Hardaway down with the Mourning. Dudley's on him. Mourning across the lane, flips it up. Won't go. Rebound, fought for. Childs lost it, and it's Heat ball with 8 seconds remaining. And Riley's going to use another timeout. Porter looking for somebody. They get it inside to Mourning. Mourning makes his drive across, flips it underneath to Mashburn. Lost the ball. Ball's still loose. The Knicks hold on to it. And finally a jump ball as the clock winds down. Ball tipped Dudley, and there's the buzzer. An incredible comeback victory for Jeff Van Gundy and the Knicks. Down by 20 in the second half, they defeat the Heat to keep their playoff hopes very much alive. Certainly for Knicks fans, one of the most thrilling and spectacular comebacks in franchise history. And for the Heat, a very disappointing, heartbreaking loss, a game they thought they had wrapped up.
There was massive pressure on New York to win that game, but they still managed to hold the psychological edge over Miami. This was, of course, particularly evident in their free throws. They had a 100% success rate, making 16 out of 16 attempts. And the 2 at the end by Chris Childs, well, they were crucial.
Now, a free throw is awarded to a player when he is fouled in the act of shooting, or when a team exceeds more than 6 fouls in 1 quarter. If you think it's easy, take a look at this.
Now he leads the league in field goal percentage at 58, but now he'll shoot a foul shot, and he's one of the worst at 56%.
The free throw line is 15 feet away from the backboard, and with the net being 10 foot off the floor, it's not as easy as it looks.
Oh, it is for you.
Now, each free throw, oops dear, is worth 1 point. And it's a shot that is taken with no opposition. So you shouldn't really miss it, but it does make the pressure a lot harder. So can you imagine the pressure of taking free throws in an NBA final in front of thousands of people?
Hello now with the first free throw. Takes his time. The crowd fronting behind the glass. No, he missed it. It rimmed out.
One more for Karl Malone. 9 seconds left in this game.
Just make sure you follow through and don't short arm him.
He misses. You got to get this rebound. Malone.
You may have heard of the phrase "and one." Now, what that means is if you're fouled in the act of scoring, like that, you get your 2 points, plus you get 1 free throw.
After all that activity, it's now time for something a little calmer. Here's the news and standings from the Eastern Conference. The Orlando Magic and the Indiana Pacers are chasing the Miami Heat for the top spot in the East. Both teams were struggling as they faced off this week, but behind the heroics of Reggie Miller, the Pacers were looking good.
He's in the corner. He raises for 3. And he is fouled. Reggie Miller comes up big.
But little Darrell Armstrong came up even bigger.
Armstrong
will try to take it. Long shot. Good.
That shot gave Orlando a big victory. Miami is still out in front in the East, but now they have Atlanta as well as Orlando and Indiana chasing them. The crosses beside the top 4 teams means they have already qualified for the playoffs. The other positions are not so clear, but Philadelphia seems certain to make the playoffs for the first time in 11 years. The Knicks are in a slightly healthier position than last week, but Charlotte and Toronto will not give up the chase. Remember, 8 teams qualify for the playoffs. In part 2, our NBA high flyer is one half of the Twin Tower attack, Tim Duncan, and you can see the other half, David Robinson, when San Antonio take on Sacramento.
Plus, we have all the news and views from the Western Conference. So, join us after the break. Off you go.
Hi, I'm Tim Duncan of San Antonio Spurs.
Then he gets up the floor and dunks it.
The San Antonio Spurs' 22-year-old Tim Duncan is a unique basketball player.
I started playing in 8th or 9th grade. I was 14, 15, 16, playing against 25, 30-year-olds.
Last season was his first year in the NBA, and he was voted the league's top newcomer.
I'm a competitor. I wanted to go in there and mix it up with these guys and see how good I was.
Tim Duncan has a complete game. He can shoot.
Boy, has he got an array of moves for a 21-year-old.
He can pass.
What are you going to do, big man? Well, Purdue dunks it.
And he can block shots.
Protected by Tim Duncan.
He was born in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
It's an awesome place. It was a blessing for me to grow up there.
Tim Duncan is making big waves in the basketball world, and many are looking to him to help fill the gap left by Michael Jordan.
Duncan out of trouble up the floor. Duncan all the way to the basket. Oh, what a play.
I surprised myself. I didn't think I'd do this well this early. Every night I think, hopefully I can keep this up now, because that's the new pressure. I have to play well and play well every night.
One thing is for sure, with his mesmerizing ability on the court, he has the potential to be the best player in the league.
Now, to be in this situation, I can't ask for anything more.
It almost looked like he passed it to himself.
He did. At the Arco Arena in Sacramento, California, Tim Duncan led his red-hot San Antonio Spurs to a battle against the Sacramento Kings and their flashy first-year star, Jason Williams. Needing a win in their fight to make the playoffs, the Kings came out quickly.
Here's a great bounce feed. D-box from Jason Williams, and the Kings are on the board first. Here come the Kings again. Williams, look out, see you later, and the reverse. Oh, you've got to be here to believe that one. Jason Williams, beautiful full length to the court move, and the Kings off to the good start.
The Kings center Vlade Divac also started well as he eluded the Spurs' twin tower defense of Duncan and David Robinson. First on the inside and then on the outside.
Williams with a nice fake, and he sets up Vlade. And Vlade's got the touch tonight.
Early on, the Kings were showing off all their stylish moves.
Barry into the lane, goes with a scoop, left hand. Magic by Barry, absolute magic.
Duncan wanted to maintain his high flyer reputation as he tried to cut into the Kings' lead.
Duncan spins, leads in, 6-footer is good. That's almost an unstoppable move right there. Duncan into the lane for the jump hook, got it.
But late in the first half, it was Big Vladdy who was stealing the show. He put the Kings on his shoulders as he single-handedly tried to build on their lead.
Oh, what a setup by Barry to Vlade, and he hits John Barry, setting up his teammate, Vlade again. He's feeling it, isn't he? Vlade's got 18.
The Kings were looking majestic in the first half as they went into the intermission with a 5-point lead. At the start of the second half, the Spurs looked to their bread and butter. Tim Duncan on the inside.
Duncan. And Tim Duncan, he's got 17.
They then looked to their other big man, David Robinson on the outside.
And it's a 1-point game.
With San Antonio inching closer, Jason Williams started to do what he does best. Use his quickness to make the sweet passes and play the tough defense.
Williams steals, he gets it back. Alley-oop Carr. Oh, my! If you didn't like that, you don't like NBA basketball.
Late in the third quarter, and with the Spurs down by 7, they once again looked to Duncan to lead the charge.
Boy, is he good. Tim Duncan's got 22.
Like a clock, Duncan just kept on ticking. He cut the lead to 4, and when the Spurs got the ball back, they looked to their little general, point guard Avery Johnson, to make it a 2-point game. Sacramento now looked like they were on the ropes, so they badly needed a basket to end the San Antonio run.
Maxwell, a big three, Bernie Maxwell. Oh, boy, 87-82.
Now down 5, San Antonio got the ball inside to Duncan, who surprised Sacramento with his passing skills. the scoring started to pick up as these teams went to battle.
88-86. Vlade working inside of Malik Rose. Malose with a hand on the back. Bangs him once. Bangs him twice. Vlade up and under with a hook. Got it. Vlade has 25. Looking for 2 more. The drop step. What a move by Vlade Divac. 92-88. Oh, look at Duncan. He is so good. 34 seconds left. 92-90. What a finish here from Sacramento. Duncan's got 30.
With under 20 seconds to go, San Antonio finally had a chance to complete their comeback and tie the game.
Robinson goes strong to the glass. He's got the bucket and the game is tied.
A big basket by David Robinson. Now the Kings had a chance to break the tie with just seconds to go. But Vlade could not break down the Spurs double team.
Great defense on the part of the Spurs. And the Kings turned it over with 1.9 seconds to go. All right, let's see what happens. Avery Johnson with the lob inside. It's to Duncan. He spins, fall away, off the iron. No good. We are going overtime. And I mean, he had a look that should have been a game winner.
Instead of Duncan ending the game, these two teams would fight it out for 5 more minutes. This time, Jason Williams and the Kings were determined to finish off the Spurs. So they came out swinging in the overtime period as they were looking for a knockout.
Yes! Jason Williams finally with a three-pointer. What a tough time to take that shot of the move, and he knocks it down, and he's better when he shoots on the move. Now you got to back it up with some Team D. Robinson. And it's a 1-point game, 95-94. What a ball game tonight from Arcos. Williams. Yes, Jason Williams. He's starting to turn it on here in OT. 97-94.
After San Antonio cut the lead to 1 again, Williams dipped back into his bag of tricks and came up with this shot.
Jason Williams, oh, that is incredible. Jason Williams has hit 3 big baskets here in overtime. Talk about guts. Yeah. Oh, off the steal. Barry, he's got a 4-on-1. Maxwell, yes! Vernon Maxwell. 101-96. Timeout Spurs.
With under 10 seconds to go, the Spurs tried one final comeback.
Boy, Tim Duncan is so cool. He has 32 points on the night.
Down by 3, the Spurs fouled Vernon Maxwell, hoping he would miss both foul shots.
Vernon Maxwell makes it a 4-point game. And that's it, gang. The Sacramento Kings have pulled a stunning upset tonight. The most improbable of the year. 104-100 in overtime is the final.
I tell you what, I would have never put my money on Sacramento to beat San Antonio in that game.
Yeah, but your judgment isn't really to be trusted. I mean, just look at Indiana. They're not doing so well.
Yeah, but they're doing better than the Lakers, and at least I knew what was happening on May the 8th.
I knew what was happening on
No, you
May the
didn't.
8th. What about Jason Williams in overtime? He was amazing.
Jason Williams has hit 3 big baskets here in overtime.
Yep, what a player. Now there's a kid who's going to go all the way in the NBA.
For now, more news of who's hot and who's not in the Western Conference.
The Utah Jazz are usually the team that dishes out the punishment. But this week, teams have been pushing them back. The Jazz were leading the Western Conference at the start of the week, but they lost to playoff hopefuls, the Phoenix Suns.
Jason down corner in a hurry. Fake right, go left. Scoop it up. Score. Beautiful move by Jason Kidd.
They then went to Seattle and looked more like pretenders than contenders against Gary Payton and the Sonics.
Payton putting on Whirling. A little crossover on Isley. Steps out for the long Jimmy and nailed it. Beautiful play by Gary Payton.
The Lakers have already secured a playoff spot, but they too are looking like anything but championship hopefuls. They lost by 22 points in a probable playoff preview against the Houston Rockets.
All by himself.
Despite 2 losses, Utah still maintain a slim lead over Portland. The Trailblazers will be doing their utmost to take the top spot, which will guarantee home court advantage throughout the playoffs. Home court advantage is crucial as matches in the playoffs are played over a 5 or 7 game series. The last places are still close as Phoenix, Sacramento, Minnesota and Seattle battle it out. As for Golden State, maybe next year.
As we said earlier, we've been in the States for the last 2 weeks, and I wish I was still there.
I know, we had a good time, but
We did.
like all gentlemen, I brought you back a present.
Did you?
I certainly did. Do you want it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Beverly, wish you were here. Sorry you couldn't be here. Instead, I got this guy. Next time, please come. Thank you.
Really genuine, wasn't it? With so much meaning.
Cost me all my pocket money to get him to say that. But anyway, at least it was a present.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
Yes,
you.
it was. It was a present. It was a present, like, you know, you give to receive.
I didn't get you anything. That's it for this week. We'll see you next week.
What do you mean you didn't get me a present? Why?
Say goodbye.
Why? Why did you get me a present?
Reed, will Rice miss it intentionally? He will. They lob it up. It's tapped around and tapped up.